Greetings and salutations, my dearest friends. My name is Samantha, and today I'm going to be talking about my favorite podcasts. Hello, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back. Today I'm going to be talking about all of my favorite podcasts. Now, I am a podcast girly. I love listening to podcasts whenever I'm driving, doing laundry, doing the dishes, whenever I'm playing my Nintendo. I am constantly listening to podcasts. I have so many favorites. Some are bookish related, some are not. I thought I would share some of my favorites if you are also a podcast girly. I listen to most of my podcasts on Spotify. It was really funny seeing my Spotify Wrapped because most of the stuff was podcasts. It's kind of funny because my first recommendation is actually audiobooks. So Spotify does have audiobooks on there. I've heard kind of hit or miss things about the actual books that are on there, but let me tell you, you can find fan fiction on Spotify. So this year I have been really leaning into fan fiction. I've discovered some absolute favorites, and I think the reason that I've been able to read fan fiction, because they can be so long, is because I was able to find the audiobook. There is a company called ETL Echo. I think that stands for enemies to lovers, and it's amazing what this company does because they're producing free audiobooks for your favorite fan fictions. Okay? They're doing the work, and they're actually very well produced. Personally, I was reading a lot of Hermione fanfictions, so I did read Manacled through ETL Echo, and I also read Remain Nameless through ETL Echo, and those quickly became two of my favorite reads of the year. I do have reading vlogs of reading those fanfictions, so I won't go into real depth of the plots, but if you've ever read Manacled, you know it's a thick book. It is so thick. My friend Khadijah actually binded it for me. Look how thick this book is. It is a weapon, okay? This is over 1,000 pages, and I was able to finish it because I could listen to the audiobook. Yeah, I don't really know why I've been sleeping on the fanfiction audiobooks, but ETL Echo really came through for me. I'll talk about all the bookish podcasts first. So a new favorite of this year has been The Bookish Life of Jess and Tori. Two of my really good friends here on BookTube created a bookish podcast. That's Jessica from Peaceful Books and Tori from Novel Life. So together they're The Bookish Life of Jess and Tori. Let me tell you guys, from the gate, they came in with their production value. I feel like when people start podcasts, it's a little rocky seas, right? Getting used to talking to each other and creating that banter and the sound and the mic. No, not these girls. They are professionals. Episode 1, amazing. And every single episode after, amazing. I absolutely love their banter. They're just bookish besties talking about their favorite things. They have so many different topics that they go over because both of them work in the bookish community, so they talk about that. Recently, they just posted a video talking about their favorite romantasy books, so fantasy romances. So you're getting recommendations, you're getting insights of professionals working in the bookish community. I love this podcast. Cannot rave about it enough. Every time I get a new notification of a new episode, I listen to it immediately. Next podcast I have been listening to for years, and that is the Fated Mates podcast. This is another great bookish podcast. It is hosted by Sarah McLean, who is a historical romance author. Jen Prokop, who also works in the bookish community. I think she does editing for romance books, but I know she also works at a school district. I don't know if she's an English teacher or a librarian. I'm sorry, I can't remember. She works in the educational and bookish space, so they always have really great insights. My favorite thing about this podcast is their Trailblazer episodes. They did a series called the Trailblazer series, and they interviewed people who are trailblazers in the romance community. They have an interview with Nora Roberts, Beverly Jenkins, people who are core staple authors that really built those building blocks of the genre. It's kind of a piece of history listening to these professionals talk about their journey and their career and how they influenced the romance book community. I think it's so fascinating to listen to. They also do amazing episodes where they give recommendations. So they'll pick a different trope and they'll give a ton of recommendations based on that trope. Amazing. Absolutely love this podcast. I've been listening to it for years. It's my favorite. I highly recommend it. They're the 3 main bookish podcasts that I personally listen to. I know there are so many more, so if you have any recommendations, please leave them in the comments down below. I would love to listen to them. So let's talk about some non-bookish podcasts that I am so interested in, and that is Dark History by Bailey Sarian. I love Bailey Sarian. Okay, another person I've been watching for years. I do listen to her Makeup and Murder one as well, but I'm a little scaredy cat, so I can't always listen to murder podcasts because I get a little paranoid. But her Dark History podcast is basically what it sounds like. She gives history and background to things that you're just really not taught in school. Like looking at some of the episodes, she did one on plastic surgery. She did one on the SATs. She did one on like where the lore of like vampires, werewolves, witches came from. She did one on the Salem witch trials. So if you are interested in history and you want all the dark, gritty details, but told in a very humorous way, Bailey Sarian, Dark History, it's the way to go. I love them. This next one is kind of random. Let me know if you also listen to this podcast. So when I was younger, like I'm talking like junior high, maybe even younger, into high school, even after high school, I was obsessed with reality TV. Obsessed. I don't watch it so much anymore because I feel like it's just not the same. You know, we don't get the same type of reality TV that we used to get. But one of my favorite reality TV shows was The Girls Next Door. Do you guys know which one I'm talking about? It followed 3 girls who were Playboy bunnies, and they were Hugh Hefner's girlfriend, and they lived in the Playboy mansion, and it like followed their life. I remember watching that with like my sister and my mom, and we would tune in like every week. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. That whole culture surrounding the Playboy company, Hugh Hefner, the Playboy mansion, the parties, insanity. Like absolutely insanity. There's so many documentaries on it. You guys gotta go watch it and like see everything that happened, because when I was just watching it as a young girl, like a reality TV show, thinking like, oh my god, so glamorous. No, some crazy stuff happened. Anyways, Holly and Bridget, who were 2 girls on that show, came out with their own podcast, and they talk about their whole journey, and they talk about other stuff too. It's not just about that, but I love it. They're such girls, you know, like their energy. It feels like listening to their podcast feels like a slumber party, and I just love it. So yes, giving me all the nostalgia vibes of one of my favorite reality TV shows that I used to watch is, I didn't even say what the podcast name was. It's called Girls Next Level. Get it? Girls Next Door, Girls Next Level. I love it. I absolutely love it. All right, so those are some of my favorite podcasts that I've been listening to recently. 3 bookish podcasts and then 2 kind of random ones. I feel like, honestly, I like all different types of podcasts. So if you have any recommendations, please leave them down below. I will listen to them and love them. And that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was a little bit of a different one for me, but I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. As always, thank you for taking time out of your day to spend time with me. It means the world to me. I hope you guys are all staying happy and healthy, and I'll see you next time. Bye!